Hey everyone, welcome to U.S. History for Expats. My name is Kent Blakeney and I'm the founder. Today we're going to go through a quick introduction of myself, the course, the units, how it works, and how you can get started. So this is a little bit of information about me. I met my wife while living overseas and teaching in an international school. Since then, I've taught in 6 more, and I have also taught in Virginia at a Blue Ribbon Middle School in Fairfax County. I have a PhD in educational leadership, Google certified educator, and I partnered with one of my buddies in Fairfax County to bring you some of the content that we have today. So these are the units that we're going to cover in this course. There are 9 of them with an optional 10th unit that students can choose to do at the end. One of the activities I might do in a course like this is ask students to match these photos with the different units and try to figure out which one is missing. So if we look here, we can see all the ones are here except for European exploration. So this is an example of how we might bring the content to your child. The course is self-paced with a unit due at the end of every month. So the first one would be due September 30th, although we'll work with you if your schedule changes or you're moving or something like that. We can adapt the schedule to meet you and your child's needs. It's asynchronous, so everything we do is provided in the classroom. We have tons of activities and videos and resources all through the Google Classroom. So your child will need a Gmail account to get started. We do provide regular feedback, including our rubric, which we generated specifically from the Virginia Standards of Learning and the class. All the Virginia Standards of Learning are covered for this class, and we put them at the bottom of each of the lessons so you know which ones are being covered. And finally, we're very proud to be a member school of the Middle States Association, which is one of the 3 accrediting bodies for all public and private schools in the United States, and we are hoping to be fully accredited by the end of this school year. Each of the units consists of 4 sections. You have an intro activity and MLA style, then you have the unit organizer, a midpoint check-in, and finally, the final project. These are the 10 units, and let's look a little bit more closely at each part of a unit. In the first part of a unit, you do an introductory activity. In this one, this is Unit 2, European Exploration, and we're asking students to compare what it would be like if they encountered an alien. What would they wonder about the aliens? What would they think? What would they do? How would they react? And then also, to learn a little bit about perspective, what would the aliens think about them? This is a way that they can kind of get their head around the Europeans and early settlers or early cultures of the current United States, the Native Americans, what they thought when they first encountered each other. As well as doing that, in this class, they'll do an MLA style activity, and we build through these progressively throughout all the lessons, focusing on one of 3 tasks: writing, citing, or researching. In this case, the students would be taking a plagiarism quiz to figure out where they stand with plagiarism, and then we provide more access to learning how to make sure they don't plagiarize material as they go through not only this course, but also all their other classes at their regular international school. The second part of the unit is what I like to call the meat and potatoes. We've looked at all the standards of learning, and we provide them with engaging content based on our 25 years of teaching. So they might be asked to compare and contrast the Native Americans to Europeans. In another one, they look at the patent for Eli Whitney's cotton gin, and they're asked, do you think that made slavery better or worse when the cotton gin was developed? We also focus on skills. So at the bottom here, we have taking Cornell notes on the causes of the Civil War. And you'll see we have a bit of a framework there because students are in 6th grade and still learning this. So we've provided them with examples of Cornell Notes. Now we're asking them to extend their knowledge a little bit more in regards to taking notes. So we focus on content, MLA, and skills acquisition in all of our courses. After they finish the unit organizer, they take a midpoint check-in, which is a formative assessment. It doesn't go in the grade book or anything like that, but we ask them to take it as many times as they need until they get at least an 80%. And what we're doing is we're highlighting the most important parts of the unit and asking them to make sure that they understand it. If they have problems or questions, students will email me and say, hey, I didn't understand why I didn't get this one right. Could you help me out? And then we go back into the unit organizer and look and see where they made a mistake or what the problem might have been, and we go from there. The final project is the biggest part of each unit, and it's a chance for your child to showcase what they know. They start with a driving question, then they research, and then they create some type of project using the knowledge that they've gained, putting it in the MLA style that we have created up to that point. So let's look at two of these. One of these is on the beginning of the United States, and it says, how can you, as a famous YouTuber, write and or perform a song from your subscribers for your subscribers that will teach them about the Constitution or one of the first 5 presidents. Another one that we'll look at a little bit more closely is from our European Exploration unit, and this one is, how can you, as a 1600s European explorer, convince Europeans to sail across the Atlantic and settle a new colony of yours? So students are asked to go through and figure out which part of the United States or which part of Americas do they want the people to go to, and then they're asked to figure out why. So they do this project planning sheet, which combines information from the unit organizer, maybe from a different class, or maybe their own knowledge, or maybe something they know about their own state that they're from in the United States, and also maybe doing a little bit of their own research. They're combining all that information, they're putting it into a project planning sheet, and then they will produce a final project. In this case, they have a choice of 2 different brochures, or they can create a Google site. Now you might see there's some information there in red. Throughout the course, we do have some extended activities for gifted and talented students, or AAP students, Advanced Academic Placement students. These are questions that kind of extend the knowledge of what they're already learning. In this case, the question is, how does the region you selected impact the purpose of your colony? So the students would think about that, and then they would write a response and hopefully incorporate that into the final project. So if you want to get started, you can go to our website, and up in the upper right-hand corner, you'll see register now, and it goes through the process of registering. The course is 100% reimbursable through the supplemental instructional allowance. So if you're if you get the FAM, if you're part of an organization or an agency that uses the FAM, most likely you can get fully reimbursed the cost of the course. Ask your FMO, or you can send me an email and I can help you out. I have a letter I send to FMOs, I have a draft of an invoice you can give them, and some information about the course and how we are in the accreditation process. We also have a 2-month or 2-unit guarantee. So if you start a course and in the first 2 months your child's just not into it or whatnot, we'll give you a full refund within the first 2 months or the first 2 units, whichever comes first. And then finally, we have a lot more information on our website. So if you'd like to join us there, do that. Our website is located below, www.ushistoryforexpats.com, and you can always email me, kent@ushistoryforexpats.com. Thanks so much for staying with me this long, and I look forward to seeing your child in the classroom soon. Take care.